Hi, this is Steve, and welcome to a very special episode of Our Road to Camelot. In this episode, we're going to be addressing some of the storage issues that we discovered we had after purchasing the rig. So let's jump right into it. So we've got a lot of extra work to do around the rig while we're here in Sun City, Arizona, as far as getting organized and getting things in proper places. When we got the rig, we loved the space that we had, but we quickly discovered that the cabinets and the cupboards just didn't quite have enough shelf space. There was enough square or cubed footage in there, square footage, whatever. I mean, there just wasn't enough space on shelves. We'll show you what we're talking about. So if we go into the pantry, I'll back up here a little bit. So basically what we have is we have this big shelf. Let's open both sides. We have this big shelf, and we do have some stuff stacked over here. If we needed something underneath, we're going to have to pull everything out to get to it. Same thing back here. This is ridiculous. So we need to get a shelf to go across, though I got a feeling because of some of the boxes that we're not going to have one big shelf going across. We'll have one on this side that's lower that will handle mostly canned goods, bread, and that sort of stuff. On this side, we'll probably have one that's a little bit higher up so we can stack boxes a bit better. And the large boxes, like cereal boxes, we're going to wind up putting up on this shelf. I did do some organizing this morning. We had a humidifier that was taking up the entire top shelf. So I don't know if we're going to add any more shelving here, but we'll just have a lot of the tall items on these higher shelves. We're going to get a dish stacker for the dishes. And we're talking about, just like we have these glasses hanging, we're probably going to get a cup holder so we have cups hanging as well. And that's kind of what we're looking at for this space. We do have this other space that is above the couch. And we do have, let's get the lighting right here. And in this space we have a lot of books, camera equipment. Everything's kind of falling over on itself. So in here I may have a shelf on these other two sides, but I'm going to put dividers in between. Notice there are no dividers in between. I'm going to put dividers in there that will help work like bookends to stack things a little more neatly. Also to where we can have each cabinet for its own purpose. As we do right now, we have like games and things. Those are frisbees, not plates. We've got games over here that we can stack up a little bit more neatly, a few books. And then some odds and ends in there, some sound equipment. Over here, a few more books. We have our binoculars, one camera, the other camera's on the other side. And over here, I've got all my GoPro stuff in the green bag, some audio equipment, and another camera. It's just a mess up there. So we're going to try to get that organized as well. Also, when it came to, we'll probably cover this on the dog episode as well, but we have the dog's harnesses hanging. And these little hooks that came with the rig just aren't enough. So we're probably, exactly, just fell down. So exactly, we're going to get probably a few more hooks up there that kind of match the same style, but maybe something a little bit longer that the harnesses will hang on a little bit easier. So those are the projects we're going to be working on. And we're going to get started at Home Depot or Lowe's. Not sure which store we're going to wind up to first. But next stop is to start looking for materials. We have already taken measurements, and we're going to see what's going on there. Oh, there is one more space. Let's take a look at that one. So the undercarriage has been a problem all along. It's gotten better. I'll show you the other side in a second, but on the front side, I do have some toolboxes. We're renting a golf cart, so I got the charger in there right now. But everything is just piled in. There is no rhyme or reason. I want to do some shelving in here as well. When we're going to be traveling again, I want to make sure I have a spot for the barbecue. Right now the barbecue is setting out. but I want to make sure I've got a nice place to slide that in here. And this side is really still a mess. I won't open the front compartment, but right now we have a tire that needs repaired and put back on the rig, so that's going to go there. But we're looking at getting one of the hide-a tire to go under the chassis of the rig, and that will open up that whole front cap space for us. And we're looking at possibly getting a whole larger array of batteries as well for boondocking purposes. Let's go ahead and open this up. So right now this is looking a bit more organized. I've got my electrical, sewer, fresh water, and miscellaneous totes down there. I do have a guitar case sitting in here right now. I have the guitar out and the case in here. There's a good chance the banjo case might be fitting in here as well eventually to help free up some space inside. But this side is really easy access and easy to get to stuff just with these totes. I haven't decided if we want to go for a tote system or actual shelves. In fact, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do shelves here, because I do have to pretty much pull this out when I use it. But truthfully, every setup I'm going to be pulling the electric, the sewer, and the freshwater boxes out to begin with. So that's going to be a no-brainer every time for setup. And then this side really is not having to be accessed. That is what this is all about over on this side. So that's the organization we're going to be doing over the next couple of days, weather permitting. We're expecting monsoon torrential downpours possibly tomorrow. So if that happens, we may be at Home Depot, but we may not start the build until the following day when the weather clears up a little bit more, because I may have to pull stuff outside. So that's it for organization part one. We're going to jump into getting this stuff built. Here we go. Home Depot.
Oh, Home Depot?
Home Depot run. All right, so we have the shelving. The width is right. We're just going to make the length to match. So I got to pull that information up. We've got the hooks for the dog hangers. And we've got a couple more boards to get and we'll be done. We're getting close. So the general plan is that we are going to set the height of the shelves to certain items that we carry in the shelves. All tall items are going on this shelf up here. On this side of the pantry, I want the shelf to be high enough to fit 2 standard 16-ounce cans. This side, we have a small cereal box, so this shelf will be higher than this side. It came to me how we're going to put these shelves in. I'm not going to bracket them in with a standard screw type corner bracket, but I'm actually going to use shelf holders where I would drill a hole, stick the shelf holder in, and have the shelf set on top of the shelves. That way, at any time, if I should decide, you know what, we want either to add a third shelf or go higher or lower, it would be just as easy as adding another shelf that way. So let's go ahead and start the build and see where we go. So I picked up some shelving at Home Depot that is kind of pre-finished particle board type shelving, but covered to make it look like wood. This piece is perfect for the cereal box side. This side I will have to cut down to I pre-measured 29.5 inches long, and the rough end will be on the inside so you won't see it. So we're going to go ahead and make that cut right now. Alright, so Ack is getting a little mouthy. He'll only be working in the kitchen. But now it's a matter of drilling a few holes and dropping the pins in. I already had stop. I already had marked according to the size of the box, so everything should be fine. Alright, I'm not going to completely snug it in yet because I do need to adjust for the molding that's going to go on it. So I'm going to mark for the molding, but it will snug down, but it might be really tight getting it back out again. I did buy a molding that better matches the wood grain of the actual cupboard. So it's only going to give a slight lip, but it will give a finished look. Actually, I'll probably put on the top. That will probably look even better and give a little bit better lip. I'll do that. We'll attach it from the top. So I just need to go ahead and mark it now, make the cut, Gorilla Glue it on, and I'm going to attach a couple of finishing nails to hold it together while it dries. Okay, so that is the finished shelf. If this looks right and works, we pretty much repeat the other side. And there we go. So we got the finished shelf. We just have to finish up on the second side, and I'll come back when we're all done. So here are the new shelves. They're ready to go. Boxes can fit under that one. We can definitely stack cans on the other side. So we've got our shelving. So bread shelf, and however Don wants to set it up. On to over the couch project, which is going to be a little bit more interesting. So I got one side of the shelf up just to kind of check out spacing and realize my design was slightly flawed. I made a quick adjustment, and I'm actually going to be mounting the shelves inside the cabinet itself. So I already made the cuts, so now all I got to do is put brackets on here, pre-drill the holes for the shelf holders, and go ahead and mount them and get the shelves put in. So that's where we're going right now. Alright, so the shelving is done in here. I'll show you the final. You saw the before and how messy everything was. So this is now the after. So this side, we do have camera equipment, 2 camera bags, well 3 camera bags, and an audio equipment bag. This one is a book library and some miscellaneous audio gear and an extra iPad. On this side, still empty. Man, look at all the free space we still have. That's pretty crazy. I do have my headphones for editing, a speaker for editing. And finally over here we have some games, video game controllers, and some more space. So everything nice and neat and in its place. And
Won't be falling over.
Hopefully it won't be falling over. The only thing that I may do is, now that I have everything in there, as I was putting stuff in, the shelves were sliding. I do have the ability, you can't quite see it there, but I can put screws in the underneath side of the shelves to hold them in place. And I think that'll add to the stability of the whole thing. So I will be adding that, and that'll finish the project off completely. But we are very much happy with the organization that is taking place. So last project for the organization for now, at least for this episode, is we need some way of better organizing the understorage. Now, I'll show image on the other side. I managed to get these small storage bins that work really well for the undercarriage. They can be stacked 3 high or 2 high with stuff on top of them. And the biggest problem is the barbecue. I either have them setting on top of the storage bins, and if I do that, then I have to pull the barbecue out every time I need to get into one of the bins. So my plan is to build a platform that the barbecue will slide under, and I can put bins or other things on top of that and around it, and the barbecue will always be easy access, and the stuff that's above it will be easy access as well. So I have a 4 by 2 foot piece of plywood. I've got these really great little angle brackets that are threaded that will actually work with these legs as well. So this will be bolted to the wood, and then the legs will be screwed into this. Now, as I'm looking at this design, these brackets on the back I'm going to put at the far back, because notice the wheels can actually come back to there and still be clear. So I'll put that on each side, but in the front, I plan to put the brackets in front of these legs, so if anything, it would act as a stop when I go to push it back. And it will also allow for the overhang that is in the undercarriage, and we'll show that image as well. These legs only came in 15¼ inch length. I measured it against this, and I'm going to be able to lop off about what looks like about 4 to 5 inches worth, and that will actually be able to have it a little bit more low profile, give me more storage above. So we're going to go ahead and get to work on that. Nice. Those legs should have gone in. It was wide enough. Don't laugh at me. Let's see where the problem is. Okay, so I might have to make a slight adjustment. Or actually, if I put it in this way, if I slide it in.
Yeah.
Is the leg around?
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm just going to have to maneuver it, is all. There. So I just have to. So I just have to do a slight maneuvering. I realized what the problem was when I originally measured. I measured to the legs being flush, and because of those brackets, they cannot be flush. But because I can snake the wheels around, it will work. So now I have all the space on top for storage, and we'll do a quick recap of it when I finally have it installed, and we will go from there. Awesome. Everything is fitting. Everything has its place. The barbecue, I did make an adjustment on the front leg so the barbecue wheels will fit. I offset the one leg so it's going to work. And it's just a matter of moment of truth will come in a few weeks when we need to move from this site to another site and we pack everything else up. But the best it looks, everything's going to fit perfectly. So the extra modification worked. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. So the legs are offset. I have our pool noodles in there right now. Keyboard sitting on top. We swapped out the big slide, the big case, and all that extra miscellaneous stuff for these. I still have one box that we don't have anything in yet. Toolbox and my other tool case. Cleaning supplies, the big one goes to the right, all the way to the right. Oh, you know, you're right, in the middle. It goes in the middle. In the middle. Right here. There we go. And then the small one. So we got our laundry and then cleaning supplies. And everything else is found a home. There we go. So we are good. We are happy. Things are fitting. It's looking amazing. So that is actually going to be it for this episode. You want to be on camera?
No.
Nope. So, but Dawn, we at least hear you. So don't forget to subscribe and
if you want to have notifications of when we post, make sure you hit that bell.
Yep, every Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
So, and by the way, we're in Arizona, so we did not change our clock. So if you're California, do the math on when the time change will affect you. It'll be, what, an hour early or an hour later? Something
earlier.
like that.
They fall back.
But now all the Utah followers, you guys will be at 2 o'clock now.
Yep.
So we're...
And anybody on the East Coast figured out.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. Anyways, so that's about it.
Still trying to get over this cold. My God.
Oh my gosh, it's been
4
forever.
weeks.
All right, so catch you in the next video.
All right, cilantro.